Cosmic science recognizes all laws and principles as divine and ultimately coming from the mind of God, the divine source. Cosmic science says science is a continuous process of recreation according to the expansion of mind. When science becomes dogma, the mind has ceased expanding and the evolving thread of science must be sought elsewhere. Modern society has created the most thoroughly materialistic social order in history. Materialism is the direct result of the collective scientific worldview of physics. This is a fleeting worldview because of the discoveries of physics and its offshoot chemistry are parlayed into industrial byproducts that destroy nations. Because of its effect in defining physical plane reality and its powerful impact in transforming nature, physics is the most widely esteemed science. The result can only be the fortification of the prison of materialism at the expense of the world's soul. The collective of Dr. Faustus has all but triumphed. Cosmic science exists as a redress of grievance. Unless you step out of the paradigm of physics and biology and modern science altogether, then you cannot have a fresh perspective. Since biology is not considered a hard science, it does not have quite the same social stature as physics or chemistry. Physics is the glamour of science. Though recently biology has kept pace with genetic modification and cloning. What does this mean and why? Because its dogma is exclusively one-dimensional, an entire host of fringe subjects, including point-zero energy, parapsychology, and the paranormal in general, accompanies modern science. Because of the positivist guarded physical dogma, anything that does not accord with the prevailing paradigm is pseudoscience. In our study of science, we must first contemplate who determines objectivity, who makes anything authoritative, or for what reason, what purpose does it serve. Through holistic examination of one substandard perspective, we seek to arrive at a discriminating, objective perception of reality. All of this is for building a basis of a new understanding in science. The point is, it is important to learn how to think by stepping outside of the box of the theoretical construct and allowing yourself the luxury to look at things from all directions with no attachments. Nothing can ever be taken for granted. Most people do not use their own mind to study the nature of the reality presented to them, but rather accept at face value what is popularly presented and authoritative. This results in a society based on numerous mass illusions, not the least of which is the clock that supports the chimera of mechanized time. German nuclear physicist Werner Heisenberg's uncertainty principle says, whatever you are examining or investigating with your own subjective state of mind affects what you are looking at. The question is, how can you expect there to be any objective statement about the universe? In modern science, mental and spiritual factors are inadmissible as hypotheses, evidence, or truth. Within this framework, societies for the defense and protection of skepticism are sent to defend modern science against anyone who tries to present a different point of view. Recognizing the many forms of dogma that inhabit the structures of science leads us to the question, is there really such a thing as free thought? If people are unaware of the workings of their own minds, whether they are labeled scientists or not, then how can they say they are free? True freedom is knowing your own mind, therefore not being subject to automatic or unconscious impulses. Any scientist who has not examined his own mind, but believes himself to be objective, is in his unconscious neurotic, and so what he is researching and all of his theories are sure to be off the mark to some degree or another.